Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. This is HP Shalom.
החיים את החולים, את החולים, אל הרפנה, אל הרפנה, אל הרפנה, אל
When I hear this song, and I play it often at the gym, I feel peace. Shalom. It's soothing. It soothes the nerves. It's not just the words, it's also the voices, the melody, the tone. It's very mahogany, and I see a rich golden light. It has the name of God, YHWH, mentioned in it, empowering the song as well as the healing mantra that Moses said, El na refanala. And we discussed the notion of healing, on how it's 360, everything, our minds, our body, our societies, our environment, everything that encompasses this world. We discussed it about 5 weeks ago, if you missed it. The Shalom, peace, is a completeness. There is no loose ends. It's whole. Everything connected at 100%. It's life without dilution, without something missing. 100%, not 94. It's the wholeness of God, the wholeness of perfection, and in absolute terms, it's the wholeness of perfection before there was perfection or even wholeness. It's the very embodiment of God before there was the name God. The Aleph, the nectar of the Shalom, the essence of what God is. That's not nameable, that's not describable, that's not conceivable, something we can't understand with our minds because it's too expansive, it's too wide. We can't even conceive what Shalom really is, what our nature really is, what God's nature really is. We're within time, we're within density, we're within polarities. When we have prayers of healing, prayers that soothe us, prayers of Shalom, we're able to connect to something like that. We're able to be in touch with something that is hard to name, something that is beyond ourselves. And it could be very healing. Ultimately, the whole path is that of healing, of showing up against obstacles, things that can throw you off, things that keep you from following through, things that make you have to push through in order to do what you feel you ought to do, things that you need to do for others, showing up with your best self in spite of everything. Trying to think of a different words for in spite of. It's a complicated English word. To show up, even though there's so many things that would keep you from showing up. So it's in spite of those things. Yes? Ultimately, Shalom is healing. Our practice is to heal. When we heal, we naturally attain. We naturally receive. We naturally reach those things we wish to reach that is beyond ourselves. Greater connection with God. Well, beyond ourselves, where we are at now. The improvements we wish, the growth we wish. And I'm discussing about spiritual, emotional, psychological. And, it could also be worldly. When we do our practices, it addresses everything at once. Just doing yoga and stretching, not even yoga, just doing your stretches for an hour, hour and 15, hour and 30, just listening to the song. For me, it's El Narifan Allah. It's deeply healing. It soothes the nerves, helps me relax my body as I stretch. I even start falling asleep in difficult postures. The rest, the relief of the flow of energy is such I want to sleep. I so relax in difficult, challenging postures that I don't feel the strain anymore. That flow of energy heals our bodies and heals our mind, or at the very least resets us a little bit. Helps us to touch in more with the Shalom, with God, with YHWH, than we were before we started that practice, or before we went on the elliptical, or before we went on that hike or that swim or that walk, or before we heard the music. It helps bring us back so we're not thrown off as much, so we reclaim ourselves, our energy, maybe even our hope. We gain our seat. We gain balance on our horse as we walk or gallop or trot, keep the analogy going, through life. Trying to find the image here. Found it. Let's move it here. There are waves, there are obstacles, and we get thrown off our saddle. The practices we learn, the things we know, that could be different things for different people, that we gain our equilibrium, our source of strength, source of guidance, the North Star, our connection with God that could be weakened, our faith that is tested, helps us to reconnect to that living flow, our living knowing, our living center, that energy of the Shekhinah, the energy of God, the energy that emanates from that tabernacle in our inner temple, our inner cathedral, our inner Mishkan, that seed of life, our connection as sons and daughters of God, that living breath that is in us, outside of us, all around us, and in everything. In everything. Doesn't mean it's necessarily good, but it has that spark of life in it. If it's not within God, it doesn't exist. There's nothing outside of God, outside of YHWH. God, the presence, capital P, is in everything. And so when we take the moment to pause, the moment to gather, the moment to grab a breath, the moment not to react, the moment to perceive, to release, to go to where you're able to find that calm, makes it much easier to heal. Easier to touch in and come to the realization that the Shekhinah, that Adonai, Hashem, El Shaddai, Abba, Elohim, Manuel, whatever you wish to call him, was always there. He never went anywhere. It's just that our lives, our past, our current, what we carry, our trauma, our blocks, our lack of knowledge, or lack of desire, lack of knowledge on how to connect, or lack of knowledge that of the spiritual life, religious life, is what is like a fog, a cloud. And we feel we're disconnected. We feel that he's not there. We feel that he's went away, lost interest, doesn't care. We could feel we're beyond redemption. We can feel we're not worthy. That's us. And we project it onto him. When the sacred Torah, the Tanakh, the sacred scriptures say otherwise, again and again and again and again and again and again. So many different examples. And then we may pick certain stories or lines out of context to validate those thoughts and ignore the rest, the context, the reasons why, and ignore the multitude of passages that God is in relationship with us, in covenant with us. We may lose sight, we may separate ourselves, but there's never been a permanent abandonment. Or I would say even any abandonment. Simply our clouds have obscured us. We can't hear the voice. We go adrift. We separate ourselves. We have choice. God does not impose. That's where our responsibility comes. The sun is always shining. The sun is always there on the other side of the clouds, on the other side of the fog, always shining. There is no night. God is always shining. And so when we touch into the peace, whatever brings peace to us, we connect to something powerful. We connect to a deep part of ourselves. We reconnect to Him and we re-establish the link. Does that make sense? What I've been describing this morning is what's happening sort of with the teaching today. We have a lot of turbulence in our lives. And we have the power, the best we can, to try to find that peace of God in the midst of it. Not become more damaged or more cut off, or to follow thoughts that disconnect us from God, of hardening our hearts, or discouragement in our practice. We're not alone, and we can reach out to Him through prayers, through our practice, even when we do simple stretching. Because remember, when we increase the energy flow in our bodies, that act of the flow of life, that El Shaddai within us, when we connect, smooth out any curves or holding of energy, release that trauma, we're able to connect with our true selves better, with that factory setting. And that factory setting is in union with God. We have in our innate self a very close connection with He who created us. And as that living flow flows more and more through us, as the clouds and fog lift, we become our best selves. We rise. We rise. R-I-S-E. So let's practice a little together. Let's do Shekhinah Shalom again, shall we? Tap into that living frequency of God in the Shalom that we are able to touch and feel. And hopefully one day fully live in. May it be so. Amen. So if you have prayer beads, get them out. If not, that's fine. And we'll start in a minute or two. Remember, if you care to, you do some stretch, light stretch, and a good posture, but comfortable. Today, I'm just in a cross-legged position, very normal, very easy, but it feels comfortable. And with my palms open, I have my prayer beads in front of me. And I connect with them by looking at the stone and connect with it, its energies, what I feel coming from it. And because it's one of the stones, it has an energy. And by looking at it as I am still and aligned and relaxed, I open myself to it. My sensitivity, my senses, my sight, my feeling. And as I have a relationship to it and it's part of my prayer, I open my heart and my care to it. I connect with it, the blessings it contains of my prayers and mantras, of the healing it's provided, from the great beauty that it is. Very, very beautiful. How it resonates with me. And by doing so, I am able to feel the properties of the stone. That feels so right for me where I am now. And it opens the energy of the stone into my body. We are not two. We fuse as one. The blessings, the healing of that stone, how it works with my body, how I feel with it, how I've bonded with it. Links up as we begin our practice. So put it in both hands, palms together, over the heart chakra area, and line up, open, find that center. Connect with God. We can connect with God. We don't need to say the Shema. That connection is with our thoughts and our desire, an energetic connection. As we begin our practice, we have a certain energy now, a certain contemplation. So it's skillful not to bring in another element which throws us off from this. So we simply glide in to our practice of Shekhinah Shalom, our connection with YHWH. So we'll put our palms together and do that, and we will begin. Put your prayer beads in your hand where it feels comfortable. Cross-legged for me right now, given the posture I'm in. It's in front of my body with my wrist on my lower leg and the prayer bead basically in front of my belly button, so it's all symmetrical. So you find it where it is. I've already started moving the beads, so the prayer has already begun. You can move the beads without having to say the mantra, because the movement of the beads already releases the energy of your previous prayers. And you are saying the mantra, because the mantras are in the beads. And I bet you anything, subconsciously your mind is saying the mantra. One's prayer does not always need to be what we consider to be fully active. Simply walking while moving the beads is a form of prayer. Simply sitting and moving the beads is a form of prayer, a form of connection. Sometimes it's not possible to do it all, or we're not able to do it all, or simply falling asleep with the beads against you while thinking of God is a form of prayer and connection. It's our intent. It's the forms and methods of our practice, and doing what we're able to do in the moment. And that's good enough. So we begin. YHWH, 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 YHWH. Shalom, YHWH, Shalom, YHWH, Shalom. Shehina Shalom, 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 Shehina. You may see things, have flashbacks, or go through things that are current. It's okay. You continue to say the mantra as they're occurring, and you simply look at it. And when you pop out, you release it. It's like a little cloud, a little fog with a caller, a story, a feeling. Could be a big cloud, but as you come back and realize, oh, I was in that, you continue right where you were with the mantra, right where you were with your practice, and you release it. You release it right there, and you focus on the word, you focus on the prayer, you focus on your practice, and then poof, where was it? It's no longer there, and you're moving forward. Remember, the act of meditation is not full focus on our practice or our prayer or our mantra. And mantra is a form of meditation. It's when we remember to come back to the practice after we've drifted off a little bit. The act of meditation is the act of coming back to our practice. It is not perfection. It is not stillness. It's not a complete full focus. It's that remembering, coming back to the form, coming back to the word, the sacred words, the sacred vibration, the sacred desire to connect deeper with God and deeper with our inner cathedral, our inner sanctuary, where the Shekhinah lives. Shekhinah Shalom, Shekhinah Shalom, Shekhinah Shalom, Shekhinah Shalom, Shekhinah Shalom, Shekhinah Shalom, Shekhinah Shalom. free to continue. See you all next week.